What's up, everybody? It's Falcons Daily on a Monday, January the 19th. It's MLK Day. I'm CG, your host, Craig Green. If you want to give me a follow on social media, you can find me at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G in the word sports. Fan Arch, who powers Falcons Daily. They're at Fan Arch Co, FANARCHCO. And we'd like to give a shout out to our friends at Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring Falcons Daily. If you want to sign up and play on Underdog, it's real easy. You got a QR code right here. Whoops, boom, boom. Oh, it's over there. There it is. That's Underdog's logo up here. Boom, you got the QR code right there. Boom. So if you want to sign up for Underdog, it's right there. $75, up to $75 in bonus entries when you sign up and play your first $5. I mean, I did it last night. It was really, really easy. One thing that I played on myself, I was watching the Bears and the Rams, and at halftime, I decided I wanted to get in on some of the fun. So what I did was I took Kyron Williams for higher than 55.5 rushing yards. I took DJ Moore to get higher than 47.5 receiving yards. I played a few bucks, ended up winning on that, and then I woke up and I saw my winnings right there in my account. So it's really, really easy. Just hit that QR code. It's right there. You can sign up for Underdog and you can win some money like I did last night. Falcons right now, I'm sure you guys saw it over the weekend. On Saturday, introduced their brand new head coach, Kevin Stefanski, formerly of the Cleveland Browns. He is now going to be the 20th head coach in the history of the Dirty Birds. Lots of things to know about Kevin Stefanski, lots of things to chop up. Let's first go with some of the things that we know about Kevin Stefanski. Okay, here is a little bit of his resume. If you don't know, remember he did come from the Cleveland Browns. He was their head coach for 6 seasons. He left the Minnesota Vikings to take that job after the 2019 season where he was the offensive coordinator. He worked his way up to that after being the quarterback's coach and also the interim offensive coordinator when their OC at the time was let go. Before that, he had worked his way up to running backs coach, and this is the same season the Falcons won the Super Bowl, of course, 2016. Before that, he was a tight ends coach in 2014, 2015. But really, he had been with the Vikings organization all the way since 2006 in the Brad Childress administration. So he was there, with Brad Childress. He was there, on the other side of the ball. They had Leslie Frazier was their defensive coordinator then. So he's in the building with a lot of people. Matter of fact, he was there when Mike Tomlin was the defensive coordinator for the Vikings. So Kevin Stefanski's been around the league for a long time. Another interesting tie that he has is that he was on the same staff with Bill Musgrave, who used to be an assistant with the Falcons when Matt Ryan was young in his career. He left the Falcons in 2010 to become the offensive coordinator for the Vikings. And a lot of that had to do with the work that he did with Matt Ryan. So there are some ties for it. I know some folks are kind of like, why him? But there is some of those ties there. And again, it's, it kind of, I think it's a pretty good hire. I mean, I think it's somebody that Matt Ryan, as the president of football, feels like he can trust to come in and do the job, right away. But we'll look at more of the opinion on that here shortly. But again, that's some of the tie-ins with him, and then as well, we can show you, notable people he has worked with in the league. So if you're not familiar with Kevin Stefanski, again, he was under the Brad Childress administration. He was in Minnesota when Gary Kubiak was on the staff. Gary Kubiak was their, he took over as offensive coordinator after Stefanski left. And Stefanski runs basically the Kubiak-Shanahan wide zone offense. So there you go. We talked about Bill Musgraves and his connection there. He was on the same staff when Pat Shurmur was also with the Minnesota Vikings as well. Shurmur at that time was the offensive coordinator. And then when Shurmur was the OC on that team, That's when Stefanski was the quarterback's coach. So plenty of tie-ins with those guys. Again, there's also Norv Turner. I could say that pretty quickly. But again, remember when Norv Turner was the OC for the Vikings, that's when Stefanski was leading the running backs and the tight ends around that time. So, and then you see the notable quarterbacks, of course, Kirk Cousins. He was there when Kirk was the starting quarterback in Minnesota. Joe Flacco with the Browns. Everybody else on that list was when his time with the Browns. And the biggest name on that list, if you ask me, the one that sticks out most like a sore thumb is Deshaun Watson, because that's one of the reasons why the Browns had such a terrible record over the last couple of years. And because they really couldn't get their offense going, they couldn't get competent quarterback play. There was a lot of back and forth. But so Stefanski, again, yeah, he did have a losing record with the Browns. But again, you got to tell yourself it's the Browns, and what we're getting for him is someone who is an offensive mind, someone who players obviously respect and will work hard for. And I think it's a pretty decent hire. I think it's a safe hire also. That's the easiest way I can kind of put it. Remember Stefanski's head coaching record with the Cleveland Browns. He was 45-56. He did make the playoffs twice with the Browns. He had 2 seasons of 11-plus wins. In those seasons, he did win the AP NFL Coach of the Year. Outside of those 2 seasons, he had 4 losing seasons. Again, he was 8-26 the last 2 years with the Browns. That's what led to his dismissal. But you got to say, he's got a lot more talent to work with in Atlanta, because what he was doing in Cleveland was working with, what we would perceive as lesser talent. They weren't star-studded offensively. They didn't have a Bijan Robinson. They didn't have a Drake London. They didn't have, who knows, we'll have Kyle Pitts or Tyler Algier. But they didn't have the weapons that we have. So for me, I feel pretty good about it. Yahoo Sports and ESPN have come out with some grades. We'll go over some of those grades tomorrow for the Kevin Stefanski hire. But I think he's got more to work with in Atlanta. I know there's been a lot of poo-pooing about this hire. I'm not exactly sure who you wanted after John Harbaugh had been signed by the New York Giants. But, who else is out there with the experience? Some people said Mike McCarthy. Yeah, he has a winning record, but, he has one Super Bowl win, and that's with Aaron Rodgers way back when. So what has he done since then? He's gotten you a little bit close, and then the team has lost. So, the goal is trying to put together the right combination to win a Super Bowl, right? And Matt Ryan, you think he's going to bring in people into the building that he's not familiar with, to where they can just get off the ground running and hope that things are going to go well? That would not be the smartest thing to do. So I think it's a good hire for Kevin Stefanski. It's also a safe hire for Matt Ryan, because there's already the connection with Stefanski through Bill Musgraves. There's talk that Tommy Rees is going to be brought in as the offensive coordinator, which means that Zach Robinson's days are numbered with the Falcons. Some of that should make some of you happy, of course, because there's been the stakes in the fire and the tiki torches out for Zach Robinson all season long. So obviously we'll see how it plays out, but I think so far it's a decent hire. Not sure everybody's upset about it. I mean, I've seen a lot of vitriol on social media, talking about his record and all that stuff, but you got to ask yourself a couple of questions. Number one, did the Browns have more talent than the Falcons for Stefanski to work with, right? Ask yourself that question. Number two, also, is it always the head coach's fault when a team loses the game? And also, take that back. Second question is, how many Browns games did you actually watch to be able to understand what's going on with them, right? I'm not going to pretend like I've watched a whole bunch of them, but I think we should reserve the anger and dismissal of this hire until we see what happens on the field. Now, speaking of Stefanski and his coaching staff, we did get some pretty darn good news. If any of you saw it or did not see it, that is our guy Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator, is going to come back, and he is going to be on Kevin Stefanski's staff. So Stefanski most likely will run offense and call plays, despite who the offensive offensive coordinator, despite who that may be. I mean, I think that play calling thing could be up in the air, but we do know for certain that Jeff Ulbrich will be back, and he should be calling the defensive plays for the Falcons in 2026. Remember, Arthur Blank was blocking interviews for Ulbrich by other franchises like the Cowboys, who wanted to speak to Brick about their defensive coordinator job, and Uncle Arthur said no. And he also said that whoever was going to be brought in to be the Falcons head coach, he would give a recommendation, not a directive or an order, that Ulbrich be retained. He thought that much of the job that he did, that he's, I mean, that's a damn good endorsement if you ask me. But so this combination with Stefanski so far and Jeff Ulbrich, honestly, it feels good. Like, it does. And again, with Stefanski having more to work with on offense, than he did in Cleveland. I mean, even with the quarterback situation being what it is, I mean, that's something else we can kind of talk about here tomorrow. But it feels like it's going to be a little bit of a better situation, especially offensively. I mean, if Ulbrich can even mimic the job we did defensively this season, and Stefanski can up the offense a little bit, I mean, honestly, we probably can get at least maybe 3 more wins. But also, remember, Falcons got to finish, in these fourth quarters. So there's a lot of it to it, Again, football, there's so many different variables. It's hard to put all of it on the head coach. I mean, we see head coaches get fired all the time for the team's record. At the end of the day, they're going to be the ones held responsible for it by the ownership, by the fans. But there's so many different parts to it that lead to wins and losses. So, just like we can tell our children to do the right thing all the time, right? We can show them how to do the right thing all the time. We can tell them why they're doing the right thing. If they still choose not to do the right thing or still continue to make mistakes, sometimes you have to, all you can keep doing is keep coaching. They're not going to give them new parents. We just have to keep finding a way. So, I think the Stefanski hire, back to that real quick, is important. I think he needs to have a minimum. Honestly, I don't care. Outside of us going winless, and finishing in last place for like 3 straight years or whatever, I think he needs at least 5 years, a minimum. He's got a 5-year contract that's been reported by like Adam Schefter and them. But he needs to be in the building for at least 5 years because, you're still the players are still trying to, move away from the culture that Raheem Morris had brought and Terry Fontenot. And now it's going to be a brand new culture under Matt Ryan and Kevin Stefanski. So we'll see how it works. I guess they can always, ask players in Cleveland how things were. But, he got a little bit out of Shedeur Sanders at the end. And, of course, the record is what it is, but I'm fine with the hire, honestly. Like, who else were we going to get realistically that was available? I would like to know, honestly, in the comments, what you think about Ulbrich coming back and also what you think about Stefanski's hire as a whole. Also, tell me, what you think the quarterback situation will be. Just go ahead and give me all of that in the comments, and then again we can chop up some of this also on tomorrow's show. Want to talk about before we keep going, y'all, got a quick word from Underdog. The football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. Playing on Underdog is easy, y'all. If you pick your favorite players, you can pick them to go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. If you get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the football national championship, Indiana, Miami. I'm selecting Kalen Black from Indiana for lower than 61.5 rushing yards, and Miami's Carson Beck for higher than 201.5 passing yards. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code FOOTBALLFAN. It's right there on the screen. If you do that, you can score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
Welcome back to Falcons Daily. I'm your guy, CG Craig Green. Let's keep it moving here. And while we're talking about the hire of Kevin Stefanski, one thing we can also anticipate, I think, is the hiring of a GM. And the reason why I say that is because the first person who has been linked to the job and the only person per reports linked to the job was Bears assistant general manager Ian Cunningham. And last night, the Bears lost in overtime to the Los Angeles Rams for the Rams to move on to the NFC Championship game. So now with the Bears being eliminated, you could see things ramp up with the hiring of Ian Cunningham as Falcons GM to work alongside Kevin Stefanski. And remember, if you guys don't know the connection, Ryan Poles, the GM of the Chicago Bears, was a teammate of Matt Ryan's at Boston College. So there has been a relationship built there. And again, it goes back to Ryan bringing in people that he's worked with and trusts to help lead the franchise. So also in the mix for the GM job, you would think would be people such as Josh Williams of the San Francisco 49ers as well. Because remember, he also interviewed for the president of football position. Mike Disner from the Detroit Lions as well should also be in the running for that job. Again, all of it has to do with those president of football interviews. They did say, I believe Greg Beatles did say that anyone who did interview for president of football wasn't necessarily a GM candidate, but remember, they haven't done any GM interviews yet, and the only person who's been linked to it from any NFL insider has been Cunningham. And again, after Matt Ryan was hired as president of football, they went right into hiring a head coach. They didn't even hire a GM first. So that tells me all signs point towards Ian Cunningham being our GM. But again, y'all, give me some of your comments. Let me know what you think about the show. Let me know what you'd like to talk about. Again, scan that QR code up here at the top of the screen to get yourself $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 on Underdog. You don't even have to wait till the beginning of, you don't have to do it at the beginning of the game. You can jump right in the middle of the game. That's what I did last night. That's how I won. I won about $15, $16 myself. Just taking a bet or taking a chance on DJ Moore to go higher than 47.5 receiving yards, Kyron Williams to go higher than 55.5 rushing yards. And again, I played just a few dollars and won about $15, and I woke up and it was in my account. And now I'm going to use it again tonight to take Kalen Black to go lower than 61.5 rushing yards, and also for Carson Beck to go higher than 201.5 passing yards. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Y'all need to do the same thing. Again, the code is right. The QR code is right up here, and the promo code is FootballFan. Make sure you get yourself in and play Underdog tonight. College football national championship. You can win yourself, up to 5,000 times your cash. So get it done and let me know how you guys did on Underdog. Put it in the comments and let us know how easy it was. Shout out to our friends at Underdog. Boom, it's right there for helping us and sponsoring Falcons Daily. We will be back tomorrow with more. We're going to talk about the grades for the Falcons hire of Stefanski, and also what potential quarterbacks are out there for us to bring in as a bridge while Michael Penix recovers, if Kirk Cousins doesn't come back. We'll see you tomorrow. Sayonara and buenos noches.